Everything I have ever experienced, everything I now see before me, and everything I will ever encounter originates from one place: imagination. The world I call real is not a separate force acting upon me. It is a mirror reflecting the images I hold within. What I believe to be true in my mind must become true in my life. There's no exception to this law. It does not fail, nor does it operate selectively, whether knowingly or unknowingly. I have been using this power every moment of my existence. For many, the external world seems solid, fixed, and independent. They believe circumstances shape their thoughts, that life dictates what they feel and experience. But the wise understand that the reverse is true. Nothing exists outside of consciousness. The circumstances I call reality are only the out-picturing of what I have imagined, assumed, and persistently held in mind. Every joy, every sorrow, every success, and every failure first began as a thought. There was a time I doubted this. I saw life as unpredictable, random, and dictated by forces beyond my control. I believed effort alone was the key to change, that circumstances needed to shift before I could feel secure, joyful, or abundant. But the deeper I examined life, the more I realized that it was my inner conversations, my silent assumptions, that shaped my world. I did not have to wait for change. I had to become the change within. To test this truth, I turned inward. I imagined myself already possessing what I sought. I walked in the feeling of its reality, not hoping, not wishing, but knowing. I refused to accept what my senses showed me if they contradicted my desire. And soon, without force, without struggle, the world reshaped itself to match the new picture I held inside. Imagination is the only reality. It is not fantasy, nor idle daydreaming. It is the creative force behind all that exists. Every invention, every great achievement, every work of art, and every transformation first took form in the unseen realm of thought. The house I live in, the clothes I wear, the chair I sit upon, all were once ideas in someone's mind before they became tangible. And just as the physical world is built from imagination, so too is my life. I no longer concern myself with appearances. What I see is only the past crystallized, a reflection of my former thoughts. If I wish to change anything, I do not battle circumstances. I simply revise the image I hold within. I assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I become the person who already possesses what I seek. The world, obedient to law, must conform. It cannot do otherwise. Doubt may whisper that this is too simple, too good to be true. But simplicity is the mark of all great truths. There is nothing complex about creation. It is only a matter of assuming and persisting until the unseen becomes seen. Everything I desire, everything I long to experience, already exists in the invisible realm. The key to bring it into form is not struggle, not effort, but feeling. The world I see is nothing more than a reflection of my inner state, and my inner state is determined by what I feel to be true. It is not enough to think about a desire. I must feel it as a present reality. Thought alone is weak without emotion. It is feeling that gives thought its creative power. Many believe they must work tirelessly, push against the world, and force circumstances to change before they can feel happy, secure, or successful. But this is an illusion. The cause is never outside. The moment I attach a feeling of reality to an idea, I set forces in motion that must externalize that idea in my life. If I feel abundance, abundance must appear. If I feel loved, love must surround me. If I feel powerful, no obstacle can stand in my way. Feeling is not merely emotion. It is a state of being. It is the deep conviction that something is. I do not wait for proof before I allow myself to feel. I feel first, and then proof follows. When I adopt the feeling of my wish fulfilled, I am no longer seeking or hoping. I am living, in the end, occupying the state where my desire is already mine. The world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match my assumption. Every moment I am radiating a feeling, whether consciously or unconsciously. My circumstances are not random. They are a perfect reflection of my dominant emotional state. The person who constantly feels lack will see lack everywhere. The one who feels unworthy will find rejection at every turn. But the one who feels blessed will encounter blessings wherever they go. The law is absolute and does not discriminate. It does not care what I want. It only reflects what I feel to be true. If I wish to change my world, I must first change what I feel inside. I must ask myself, How would I feel if my desire were already mine? And then I must allow myself to embody that feeling fully. It is not enough to wish for change. I must assume it has already happened. The body may still be in the same place. The outer world may look unchanged, but the inner shift has already taken root. And what is planted within must grow without. Doubt and fear may try to pull me back into old ways of thinking, but I persist. I do not allow external conditions to dictate my emotions. Instead, I remain loyal to the feeling of my wish fulfilled, trusting that the unseen world is already working to bring it into being. My job is not to figure out how. It is only to sustain the feeling, knowing that the law cannot fail. Every great transformation, every fulfilled desire, every success is born from one essential quality: persistence in belief. It is not enough to momentarily entertain an idea, to briefly imagine a better life, or to feel the wish fulfilled for a fleeting moment. The secret lies in holding that belief unwaveringly, regardless of appearances. The world does not immediately reflect a new assumption. It tests the strength of my conviction. Only through persistence does the unseen become seen, the imagined become real. Belief is not passive. It is not a fragile hope that crumbles at the first sign of opposition. It is a living force that shapes reality according to my assumption. When I assume something to be true and I persist in that assumption, the world must conform. But if I waver, if I allow doubt to creep in, I undo my own creation. The law responds not to my momentary wishes, but to my consistent inner state. Circumstances may seem unchanged. The senses may contradict my assumption. The outer world may present evidence that my desire is impossible, but I do not waver. I do not allow myself to be fooled by appearances, for they are only the reflection of past beliefs. If I react to them, I reinforce them. But if I persist in my new assumption, the old conditions must fade and the new reality must emerge. The weak abandon their desires when they do not see immediate results. They let doubt dictate their fate. They look at the outer world and say, "It's not working." But the wise know that the delay is only the result of past conditioning. They remain steadfast, knowing that what they assume as true and persist in must harden into fact. To persist in belief is to refuse to accept anything contrary to my vision. It is to hold on to my assumption as if my very life depended on it. It is to live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled so completely that there is no room for fear or contradiction. I do not need to force change. I only need to remain faithful to the state I have assumed. The world around me is a shadow, an echo of what I have previously believed. If I wish to change it, I do not fight the shadow, I change the source. I hold on to my assumption until it takes form, refusing to let external conditions dictate my belief. The moment I let go of doubt and fully accept my desired reality as already mine, the bridge of incidents unfolds to bring it into being. It does not matter how long it takes, nor does it matter what appears in the meantime. I persist. I remain loyal to my vision. I refuse to react to anything that contradicts my assumption. I stay in the knowing that what I've claimed is already mine. Time is irrelevant. Circumstances are irrelevant. My persistence is the only thing that matters. Everything I will ever experience is contained in this very moment. The future is not something distant waiting to unfold. It is shaped and determined by my present state of being. Right now, in this moment, I am selecting the reality I will live. The way I think, the emotions I allow, the assumptions I accept as true are all creating my tomorrow. There is no separation between the present and the future. They are one, seamlessly connected, and the seed of every future event exists now. Many believe they are at the mercy of time, that the future is something unknown, unpredictable, beyond control. But time itself is an illusion. There is only the eternal now, and within it all possibilities exist. Whatever I persistently occupy in consciousness, whatever I assume to be real in this moment, must externalize in what I call the future. The law is absolute and unchanging. The present moment is the mold from which the future is cast. I do not need to chase the future, nor do I need to struggle for it. The only task is to embody the state of the wish fulfilled now. If I desire abundance, I feel abundant now. If I seek love, I dwell in the feeling of being loved now. If I wish for success, I walk with the confidence of success now. The world must conform, for it is only a reflection of my inner reality. The mistake most make is believing they must first see evidence before they allow themselves to feel. They wait for circumstances to change, for opportunities to arise, for conditions to be perfect before they assume the state they desire. But the truth is the reverse. The feeling must come first, for it is the cause, and the external world is merely the effect. Nothing appears in my life that I have not first accepted within. Every moment is an opportunity to reshape my destiny. If I react to appearances, if I dwell on what is lacking, if I assume limitation, I am planting the seeds for more of the same. But if I take control of my imagination, if I persist in the state of my wish fulfilled, I am aligning myself with the future I desire. There is no need to worry about when or how it will come, for time is simply the unfolding of what I have already chosen within. The past does not bind me, and the future is not uncertain. I am free in this moment to rewrite my story, to claim what is already mine. I do not need external validation, nor do I seek permission from the world. I declare what is true, and by persisting in it, I bring it into being. This moment holds infinite potential, and what I choose to assume right now will shape everything that follows. The world I see before me is nothing more than a reflection of my past assumptions, a projection of my previous states of mind. Yet most people believe circumstances dictate what they can or cannot achieve. They allow the external world to control their thoughts, emotions, and expectations. But those who understand the creative power of consciousness know that faith is the only reality. The outer world is simply a shadow, and faith is the light that casts it. Faith is not blind hope or wishful thinking. It is the deep inner conviction that what I have assumed is already mine, even when my senses show no proof of it. It is the unwavering trust that my desire, once accepted as a present reality within, must externalize in the world of form. Faith does not concern itself with appearances, nor does it waver in the face of opposition. It knows that circumstances are powerless, mere echoes of old beliefs that hold no weight against a new assumption. To live by faith is to refuse to be controlled by what the eyes see, the ears hear, or the hands touch. The senses report the past. They do not define the future. If I allow circumstances to dictate my belief, I am a slave to the world rather than a master of it. But if I persist in my assumption, knowing that imagination creates reality, then I stand above circumstance. I no longer react to the world. I command it. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, when the world seems unchanged, when fear whispers that nothing is happening. But faith does not require visible proof. It holds firm even when reason says the desire is impossible. The one who maintains faith in their assumption, despite all evidence to the contrary, will inevitably see their world reshape itself in alignment with that belief. Faith is not passive. It is not a fragile state that crumbles under pressure. It is the living substance of what is not yet seen, the bridge between the invisible and the visible. The world may say it cannot be done. Circumstances may insist it is impossible, but faith ignores every argument and remains steadfast in the unseen truth. The world must conform. It has no choice, for it is only a mirror reflecting the reality I persistently hold within. To have faith over circumstance is to declare victory before the battle is won, to walk in the confidence of the wish fulfilled, to move through life knowing that what I have assumed is already mine. I do not plead, I do not beg, I do not seek confirmation from the world. I claim it, I believe it, and I persist in that belief until it takes form. There is no force greater than faith, for faith is the substance from which all reality is made. Gratitude is more than a polite gesture, more than a moment of appreciation for what is seen. It is a magnetic force that draws into my life all that I desire. Whatever I am grateful for, I multiply. Whatever I acknowledge as mine with deep appreciation, I make room for more of it to appear. Gratitude is not a reaction. It is a cause, a creative act that shapes my reality according to the energy I radiate. Most people believe they must first receive before they can feel gratitude. They wait for circumstances to change, for desires to be fulfilled, before they allow themselves to express thanks. But the secret is this: gratitude precedes the manifestation. The moment I give thanks for what I desire as though it is already mine, I set in motion an unseen chain of events that must bring it into my experience. The world does not give me reasons to be grateful. Rather, my gratitude gives the world reasons to respond in kind. When I express gratitude, I affirm that I already possess what I seek. I am not longing, wishing, or hoping. I am knowing. The feeling of gratitude is the feeling of possession, the acknowledgement that my desires are already fulfilled. When I dwell in this state, I remove all resistance, for I no longer operate from lack. I no longer question whether my desires will come. I know they are mine. Gratitude is the ultimate act of faith, for it assumes the gift before the world has revealed it. Gratitude is also the dissolver of doubt. It is impossible to be grateful and fearful at the same time, impossible to feel truly appreciative while also entertaining thoughts of lack. The mind cannot hold conflicting states, and gratitude ensures that I remain in the state of receiving. The more I appreciate what I have, the more my awareness shifts to abundance, and the more abundance flows into my life. Lack cannot persist where gratitude is present. Gratitude is not limited to the seen. I do not reserve my thanks only for what has already appeared. Instead, I give thanks for what is on its way, knowing that the unseen is just as real as the seen. I am grateful for my success even before it manifests, for my love before it arrives, for my wealth before it is evident. By doing so, I open the doors for these experiences to rush into my life. I do not question when or how. I simply accept them as already mine. Every moment offers a choice: to focus on what is missing or to dwell in appreciation of what is present and what is to come. The one who chooses gratitude commands the forces of creation, turning the invisible into the visible, the hoped for into the experienced. There is no force greater than a heart overflowing with thanks. For gratitude is the bridge between desire and fulfillment, the magnet that draws all good things unto itself. Everything I seek, whether success, love, abundance, or transformation, is already within me, waiting to be realized. My imagination shapes my reality. My feelings give it life. My faith sustains it, and my persistence brings it forth. The present moment holds the future, and gratitude unlocks its abundance. I do not wait for external proof. I assume, believe, and persist until the unseen becomes seen. Circumstances do not dictate my destiny. I do. The world reflects my inner state, and by mastering my thoughts and emotions, I become the creator of my life. I already am all that I desire to be.